Now, shout out to All Hail Tina Snow on Twitter because she posted this story and it's kind of crazy. So in the screenshot, somebody by the name of Sheila says, at my dentist's office, and this was the first thing I noticed, definitely jumped for joy. Now at the dentist's office, the dentist who goes by the name of Dr. Sutton posted this: no bonnets, no house shoes, no pajama bottoms. We will be happy to reschedule your appointment, per Dr. Sutton.
Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you all doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is a black queen that was dragged on the Beyonce internet for saying this about this dental clinic that said, okay, let me explain to you guys. Okay, so apparently there was this dental clinic, black owned dental clinic, that released a statement and said that house shoes, pajamas, and hair bonnet is not allowed in their establishment. That if you wear either of those things, you will not be allowed and you will not be serviced. And they just got the entire internet talking. Everybody was like, oh, this is an anti-black an anti-black situation. That why would a black-owned company kind of target black people and all that? And they just strike a bigger conversation because some people were saying, no, it's not really that and all that. So this sister decided to speak on this, and what she has to say got her.
So a black-owned dental office had a sign posted that said, no house shoes, no pajamas, no bonnets, right? And social media was so up in arms that they tried to destroy this woman's business by leaving her bad reviews, saying that the sign was anti-black. I just want to know why everything negative and uncouth has to be labeled black culture. I also want to know why advocating for us to go in public looking like we care about ourselves and how we look is deemed as respectability politics. We should not be condoning and advocating for clear signs of depression, because the only times I've ever been raggedy in public is when something was off with me mentally. Rolling out of bed in the morning and going in public with a bonnet and pajamas on and house shoes is unacceptable, uncouth behavior, no matter what race of people does it. And going out in public looking well put together like I care about myself doesn't mean that I'm trying to be like white people or I'm trying to get white people to respect me. Maybe it's because I respect me. Let's make having self-respect a part of black culture.
Anyway guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thought about this video down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what she said down in the comment section. This got a lot of people talking. I personally have a lot to say, but this got a lot of people talking. Some people were like, yeah, she's right, that yes, black people just need to learn how to put their shit together and all that. But I'm just like, okay, black people need to put their act together, and that people that dress that way might be not mentally okay. Anyway guys, let's go hear other people's thoughts on this and then we'll come back and talk.
So a black-owned dental office had a sign posted that said, no house shoes, no pajamas, no bonnets, right?
So apparently you can't go to the dentist unless you're dressed properly. Let's talk about it. Now that is according to one dentist office who has that particular rule in Ohio. Now for starters, please go back and watch the video that I stitched. My reaction is in response to the overall conversation, which I've seen happening on Twitter and elsewhere, but please go back and watch our video and hear all about her perspective. So this is the original post that was shared on Facebook from a client that goes to this dentist office. And it reads, no bonnets, no house shoes, no pajama bottoms, or else your appointment will be rescheduled. Now, one of the responses that I actually seen online that was a really valid point is the fact that a lot of women do actually bring a hair covering, a bonnet, regardless of whether or not it's a dental procedure or just an overall medical procedure, just to protect their hair. And particularly in regards to going to a dentist office, not getting different particles in your hair. So that's for starters. Now, second is the conversation around whether or not this particular rule is anti-black. Now, I don't want to dive too much into the opinion of it all, but this particular tweet I did find interesting. Now, this tweet states that her establishment, meaning the woman who works at this dentist office, the black-owned doctor, she is a black woman. And they're stating that her establishment is literally in the hood, meaning it's a black area, predominantly black area. And just stating that that is her target audience, meaning obviously the rule would suggest that she's targeting black people and not trying to service them unless they're dressed in a particular way, hence the rule. And I just want to note that at a time where black women represent less than 5% in the dental field, I find it very, very shameful that you're even focusing on the appearance of someone instead of trying to help your clients. Because how is this not where the line is drawn in regards to having a specific appearance whenever you go out? Now, I'll just interject and say, I don't go to the airport dressed in PJs and wearing a bonnet. I don't even go and walk my dog early in the morning dressed in PJs and wearing a bonnet. But how is this not where the line is drawn whenever you're going to get help? I'm going for you to help me, to provide a service to help me. Like, how is this not discrimination? Because at the end of the day, you work in the healthcare field, period. Because the reality is, whenever the majority of us are going to the dentist, we're likely just getting a regular routine cleaning, etc. But some people do, of course, go to the dentist for emergency help. And the fact that as a client, I would even have to put in my mind that I would have to be dressed a certain way in order to get help from a particular establishment is absolutely astronomical. And truth be told, baby, I don't even want your service. You can keep it because I'm all the way good. I will go to someone else that will service me, and it doesn't even matter what I have on.
So a black-owned dental office had a sign posted that said, no house shoes, no pajamas, no bonnets, right?
For some reason, I always feel like I have to passionately defend the bonnet wearers in this conversation. I've never worn a bonnet outside my house, but one thing about me, I'm gonna go up for the girlies that do. Throw me in, coach, because I want to chime in. So number one, like, a lot of people don't understand what they look like in public. Like, a lot of people think they look a lot more presentable than they actually do. That's a video for another day. Let me stop. But the real thing for me is, are we for real saying that we are comfortable with our medical professionals? A dentist is a medical professional providing a medically necessary service. Are we really okay with them having a dress code that prohibits wearing a bonnet, house shoes, or pajama bottoms? Either of those three things have to do with what's going on in your mouth. Like, you are genuinely saying that you're okay if somebody rolled up in this dentist office and the whole bottom row of their teeth is falling out of their head, but they have a bonnet and some house shoes on, that you were okay with that dentist saying, sorry, gotta reschedule. You don't look the part. I'm not comfortable with your appearance right now, even though your teeth is falling out of your head. Y'all are okay with that? But please be for real. In a world where many people either don't have access to medical providers at all or limited access to medical providers, y'all want to add another layer by insisting that people present the way that you want to see them. You don't want to see them in pajama bottoms, so put on a three-piece suit, bitch, if you want to have a root canal. Like, are y'all being serious? I can't. I'm sorry. And I'm not even thinking about this from like an anti-blackness or respectability politics angle. Y'all have run that into the damn ground. I'm thinking solely from a perspective of a medical professional who is providing a medically necessary service. A medical professional who presumably has taken the Hippocratic Oath, which has a statement in there about respecting human life, respecting the dignity and autonomy of your patients. This does not respect the dignity and autonomy of your patients, especially when neither of these things have anything to do with the medically necessary service that this person needs to provide, where a patient may have limited to no other options other than to see Dr. Sutton. Major issue with this, and many of you should have an issue with it too. And the fact that people are celebrating this just tells me that y'all aren't paying enough attention. This was foul, and this person, this business owner deserved to get the flack that they got for this.
So a black-owned dental office had a sign posted that said, no house shoes, no pajamas, no bonnets, right?
How many did you guys count? Because I counted 5. White supremacist ideologies that she just let fly out of her mouth in less than 5 minutes, which is concerning to me. Yeah. I got, let's think here. So there was respectability politics, there was anti-blackness, there was internalized racism, there was classism and ableism. She snuck the ableism in there. I will say that one caught me off guard. So kudos to you for surprising me. Because this video was rather unsurprising until then. And you know what, I'm not going to address any of those 5 things in this video because I think it's very clear to see that this is just a coon out in the wild in her natural habitat. But I want to talk about something else, right, that I think is more important. I think it's incredibly important for anyone who is Black and who was born after the civil rights movement to understand what our purpose is as Black people in today's society. Our job is quite literally going to be disturbing white spaces. Okay, that's our entire shtick here. It's also to get in contact with our ancestors and to heal the generational trauma that we have inherited, right? Because all of these things that we think are respecting ourselves are really just post-traumatic slave syndrome survival tactics, right? Like beating our kids into submission, right? So that they just listen, so that they don't get killed, okay? And then also respectability politics. Those are just our ancestors being forced to adapt or die. These are not principles that we should be living in today, right? That's why it's important to be the curse breaker that you were born to be. Everyone on this earth has a chance to be a curse breaker. Everyone has the opportunity to heal our ancestors' trauma, okay? And unless we do that, we end up like this one over here, who thinks that self-respect is not being able to go outside and be comfortable unless you are depressed. Yeah, I get. I also think it's really ironic that she has box braids. Does anyone else think that's really ironic, right? Like, she's wearing one of the most iconic and seen as unprofessional hairstyles in many offices across this country. And it's just interesting that she's talking down on bonnets because she's doing the same thing. It's just that it's in braids. I wonder if she has curl envy. I wonder what white lady told her that her 4C probably, right, hair was unprofessional, so she decided to braid it up. Anyway, we have to heal this trauma. Otherwise, we end up like her, okay? Just a wild coon out in a luxury vehicle. Also, our children, like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they are the ones who are actually going to flip the table, and we can't help them do that if we don't heal. So that's the important thing about why this video exists. Yeah.
So a Black-owned dental office had a sign posted that said, no house shoes, no pajamas, no bonnets, right?
I've really put a lot of thought into this video. I've seen it so many times, I've seen so many stitches, but then I had to ask myself, self, what do you think? And I finally got those thoughts. Now, I think it's obvious when this comes from white people, obviously anti-black, right? But when black people do the whole no bonnets, no baggy pants, no service, I think it's two things. Obviously, respectability politics, still anti-black, right? But also, I think that some people really think it's coming from a genuine place. Like, they really think they're helping you to show you how to behave in a professional setting. Assuming that you don't know. Like, they're doing you a favor. Like, they're trying to show you, like, you should want more, you should look like this. But the reality is, to white people, as long as you look like this, it don't matter. Nothing else matters because you're still black, right? They still hate you, baby. It doesn't matter. And that takes me back to a point that I made in a video a few weeks back, maybe like 2 weeks ago, where I said that some people are raised differently. Like, for me personally, I wear my bonnet to like walk the dog, and depending on the hairstyle, you might catch me in the airport. Those are the two things. But I would never like go to the doctor's office with a bonnet. That is crazy to me. To me. But like I said, my mom's a doctor, so my mom would not. Who raised me informed my opinion on that. So if you were raised in a household where wearing a bonnet out or wearing pajama pants out is not seen as a negative, then there's it's never in your mind that you look bad. And I think that's the thing that people leave out, because she's saying like, oh, you must be depressed. Whoa. Diagnosing people off a bonnet is definitely out there, but I kind of see where you're coming from, but you're not seeing the other side. Whereas if I never thought that there was anything wrong with this, have you considered that I don't think I look bad? Or that I don't think there's anything wrong with how I look? So you telling me that you think I look bad is wholly unnecessary, because I don't think that about myself, right? And that brings me to my final point. As your resident suburban princess, I see this a lot with my specific sect of black people. That like y'all want to, oh, black people are not a monolith so bad, right? When it comes to people criticizing you for how you talk and how you act, and because, well, I'm not from the hood, black people aren't a monolith. You're cool with it that way. But when it's people who are not like you, now everybody's a monolith. Now it's look like me or else. Get your hair done or you can't get your teeth cleaned. Like, are we a monolith or are we not? You know what I mean? Like, if we're not a monolith, then these conversations need to stop, because it doesn't matter. Who cares if someone's wearing a bonnet? And the thing is, I feel like this has got to be a made up internet thing where y'all put so much thought into a bonnet. I've never seen somebody wear a bonnet and actually think anything. I don't know. I feel like y'all are overdoing it. But, in regards to this particular doctor's office, if it's a private practice, like she said, take your bonnet off.
So a Black-owned dental office had a sign posted that said, no house shoes, no pajamas, no bonnets, right?
And let's first start off by acknowledging that while this Black dentist created a sign and a rule that said no bonnets, no pajamas, no slippers can be worn in her office, no white dentist would do the same. No white dentist would say no pajamas worn in my office. And let's not act like white kids don't wear pajamas. As a matter of fact, when I was raising my sons and they went to a predominantly white school, we actually got into an argument because they wanted to wear pajamas to school the way many of their friends did, particularly during exam time. The pajamas, the messy buns, hair all over their head, unkept, looking as if they had not bathed in days, with slippers, particularly the big slippers and characters, was a thing. And nobody called those kids depressed. No one judged them. There were no businesses making rules saying that they would not receive service if they had that on. And do you want to know why? Because of white supremacy. Because white supremacy allows white people to be seen as individuals. So if someone has 1,000 piercings and tattoos, or wears pajamas, or has their hair purple, it's just that person doing that. And Black people are seen as a group, which stresses us other Black people out because we don't want to be seen as ignorant. And so what happens is we police ourselves the way other people don't do, the way white people have the luxury not to do. And we don't have to do it. And we wouldn't do it if we recognized that it's a strategy that has been used since the beginning to create separation between us. There was a strategy to the lynch rules to ensure that there was light skin versus dark skin, that there was the inside inward and the outside inward. So they create these fractions within the Black community where some of us gain a certain level of education or a certain level of wealth, and we become something higher than Black. Maybe we're African American, and we look down on the other Blacks and say, why can't you get yourself together? Tisk, tisk, you should know better. And we beat each other up, tear each other's self-esteem down, block us from getting our teeth cleaned and our fillings done in an air of superiority because we think we're doing it for the race. But guess what? This race is already chastised and judged and beaten down. So why would we want to continue that trend unless perhaps we've been so affected by being raised in a white supremacist system that has affected us? Because it has. It's affected you. And that's okay because it's affected all of us. And the first step is to realize that we're all affected. What's really interesting as you talked is that you have these beautiful braids in your hair. And I hope you get the irony of that, because there are a lot of people today that would think that your braids are unprofessional and uncouth and make you look undone. Now, I greatly disagree, but a lot of people would, and they would look down on you. They would say, now where that girl think she's gonna get a job looking like that? I hope she don't think some man want her looking like she was working in the fields today. Now, we know that's ignorant, and it's sad that we would judge each other like that, but we've been trained to do it. And so you see what happens there? You see how maybe you should understand that we are not monolithic as a people, and we do things differently. We have different perspective. What's cool, what's not, what looks good, what doesn't. I wouldn't wear a bonnet outside of the home. But you know what? I'm 52 years old. I come from a different era. Maybe that's what's hot now. Maybe it doesn't mean that they are depressed. Maybe they are rebelling against the system. Maybe they think it's fly. Whatever it is, I'm not going to ban them in a world that already bans them from so much without even saying it. I refuse to act on behalf of white supremacy. What does this sort of treatment do to further Black people? How does that woman's sign help anybody but white supremacy? So sometimes we need to take a pause and think about why we are doing what we are doing and who and what it serves. Just my thoughts.
So a Black-owned dental office had a sign posted that said, no house shoes, no pajamas, no bonnets, right?
Let's talk about why this is so out of pocket. First of all, I did not realize that the establishment was Black owned. That makes it so much worse because it's anti-Black. It's anti-Blackness perpetrated by Black people. And when we're talking about the anti-Blackness of the sign, it's not in the pajama pants. It's not in the house slippers. It is in the bonnet. Who wears bonnets but Black folks? I mean, yes, there will be an occasional outlier. I literally saw a white woman on the train the other day wearing a bonnet, and I was looking very confused at her. But outside of that outlier, we are the ones that wear bonnets. And this whole respectability politics thing has been kicking our Black butt for centuries. And I need it to stop because, like, why is it that what we do is so uncouth? And where do you draw the line? Okay, what is the scale, right, of what's proper and improper when you have only given us a black and white idea of what to wear, from pajamas to well-dressed? Are you saying that jeans and a t-shirt are not okay with some tennis shoes? Do we have to be well-dressed to go to the doctor? I mean, Black folks have been thrown into this cycle of having to be dressed to the nines at all times to be acceptable and accepted in society for so long. And I'm just wanting to know, when is it that we can be respected as human beings, just for being human beings, without having to, do the most so people take us seriously? You're also not considering the fact that maybe there's a reason why someone needed to wear house shoes. Maybe they're having issues with their feet and they have not been able or couldn't afford yet proper comfort shoes. You could possibly also be dealing with someone who has a caretaker, and maybe they're just at their wits' end. Like, my grandma, my dad's mom, lived with my family when I was in high school, and for 8 years. And a lot of times I was the one who was the primary caretaker for her. I got her dressed. I helped bathe her. Other people in the house helped as well, but I was the primary person. And there were times I'd get fed up with her. Now, she liked to dress, okay? She liked to have her stuff nice. She would lay it out. But if she were not the type of person who would lay her things out when she was in her difficult moments of not wanting to get ready, and if I, as a high schooler, got really fed up and was like, yeah, okay, Grandma, we're just going to do what we do, I would have taken her somewhere in her pajamas. But of course, that's not the person I was. And that's not the person she was. So that's not how it happened. But that could be a scenario. No one is saying that Black folks want to walk around looking like they are in their house at all times. That is so few a thing. It's so uncommon of a thing. And you're making it like it's a regular occurrence every single day, all day. And why? Why? If you want to wear your pearls and your nice clothes all day, every day, do that. But don't make that the responsibility of every Black person. Okay? I'm tired of us being policed in every way. From our hair, to our clothing, to our voice, our dialect. Like, every single thing about us is always policed. Can we stop policing each other? Please and thank you.
Please go ahead and share your thought down in the comment section, because that's what we do here. We have fantastic conversation. So go down in the comment section and share your thought. But please, please, please do it respectfully. You don't have to disrespect anybody for you to air your opinion and put your point across. So please, let's be respectful down in the comment section like we always do. I love you guys for always doing that, and thank you guys so much. I do appreciate you guys for being respectful and having a very matured conversation. So here's my thought on this is that, first off, I see this statement and even the sister statement. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to leave the house now. So I feel like the sister statement is like very, very anti-black, because who else wears bonnet? Like, who else wears bonnet? Because some people are saying that, oh, it is not, everything is not all about being black, everything is not about black people, that's just what the establishment wanted. But who else wears bonnet? I get the pajamas and the shoe thing, okay, yeah, but who else wears bonnet if you're not trying to just use that to mask what you are? And coming from a black owned business, for me, I just feel like they know the struggle of black people, how black people are being discriminated because of what we naturally do, like from our hair to our style. These things are being discriminated about. But when white people take it and then they start doing it, it becomes like a trend and a cool thing. Just like the lip lining thing, when white people start doing it, becomes like a trend. So I feel like this black owned business know this thing, so why will you have to stereotype them? I'm not among, okay, mind you, I'm not one of those people that wear bonnet outside, but for people that wears bonnet, like, why not? It's their hair, it's their bonnet, why not? And then next, this establishment is a clinic, a dental clinic. So someone can be having an emergency and you expect the person to do what? Wear a suit in there. Somebody may have a toothache in the middle of the night and just want to rush to the clinic, and then you will say, no, I can't attend to you, go put on some clothes, you can wear pajamas here. It's a clinic, it's a clinic, it's a healthcare center. So why do people have to really dress? So people are like, oh, dress the way you want to be approached. It's a clinic. And then lastly, I just want to say that I don't understand when people try to really structure people on what they choose to do with their body. If I choose to wear bonnet, I'm comfortable in it, fine. Like, why do people really see the need to really put people in that box, like, oh, this is how, this is ethical, this is being professional, this is being organized, this is being responsible, this is being clean? Why can't we allow people to live? Like, I personally, I am a very comfortable dresser. If you guys have not noticed, I just like my outfit really simple, very comfy. A lot of people, some people don't like it. Some people feel like I dress too down and all that, but I like it. And why should it be anybody's problem? It's my body, it's my, what I choose to do with it. So why? So I really don't get that, why people just drink serious headache on what people choose to do with their body. Anyway, guys, let me know your thought about this down in the comment section. Go ahead and share your thought. Do you agree with the sister, or do you agree with me? Just go ahead and let us know what you think down in the comment section, okay? And share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because why not? That's what we do here. We have fantastic conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Please give this video a big thumbs up, because that helps YouTube to push out my content, and that will be you supporting your girl on this channel. So go ahead and smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because why not? This is where we have fantastic conversations. So hit the subscribe button. With that all said, guys, I will see you guys in my next video.